Hello, Yatris. Welcome back to the Yatri Talks. I'm Nancy, your host from the Yatri Cloud. So, this is your go to podcast where we bring the amazing mentors and industry experts which can share their real expertise on the cloud, DevOps, and AI. So, warm welcome to this Sachin Agarwal, who is a TEDx speaker, author of the three DevOps books, mentor, trainer to thousands of students in the world of cloud and DevOps. So, let me introduce you. So, the first question, we have with your intro, like how you got into the DevOps, like what drew you there? Okay, you want to become DevOps engineer. What made you eventually write these books, a mentor, a guide, or become a TEDx speaker?
Yeah. So thanks, Nancy, and first of all, thank you for having me here. So I think it's a great opportunity, to be here and talk about my journey with you and with all the Yatri Cloud community. So my DevOps journey, back like it began back, a decade before, where I started my career as a application support engineer, as an ASC member for one of the telecom company, I would say. It was a client. Now, as I was doing a support role, as I was doing the support things, so definitely, I was well versed with that ops part of work, that releases failing, the on-call support, the late night issues and things. So still I remember, those like days were a different days, but that teaches you something, how to really be good at troubleshooting and debugging skills. Now, after a year, I moved into the company, and before that I started doing as an automation engineer job too, where I was automating the tasks which were basically recurring for us every day. So when I switched to the another job, and there like I saw the developer phase, I saw the development world too, where I actually, for all these tools, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, those were just buzzwords for me. And I was seeing those tools in like practical there, they're using that. So that actually, brought more curiosity to me that no, I want to like build something on that. And I was well versed with that ops word. I was aware about those pain points, those collaboration issues, communication issues, and things. So that helped me to, you know, be that actually raised my curiosity more, I would say, and that helped me to grow in this DevOps field. Now, when I talk about writing books or my TEDx talk and these things, I would say, that I always wanted to share with community, I always wanted to share whatever we have learned, right? Whatever our experience is. But so there are two reasons to that. The very first is because today, whatever we are or whatever I am, basically, I would say, there are a lot of people, who have contributed to my life. So again, you cannot give back to the contribution in any other way, but again, you can give back to the society in some or other way. So I feel that is very important. And so there itself, for I was talking to my brother, and he said that as people ask you a lot of questions, that okay, how to start DevOps, how to enter into the DevOps, how being a non-tech I should do, you should write, some book. I was like, this is not my cup of tea, definitely. So, my brother, like, he's a mentor, and like like for me, like he's an inspiration, and his name is like Mr. Vishwajit Vishnu, and he's pioneer, in the hearing aid industry and things. So he actually mentored me to write my first book, and it was like a great experience writing that first book, where we wrote about a guide to start DevOps at any age, which was the most frequently asked question, and where we have put up all the essential skills required for anyone to basically start with the DevOps. Now, after that, again, my journey, like it was growing, it was like going on with the things, and definitely a lot of great memories and great stuff came in. With that, TEDx was one of them, which I think nothing else you can get like in 2025, probably. So, this year, like definitely from last 2 years, I was trying for that because I was actually seeing, I, if we see that from childhood, like you see Shah Rukh Khan, right? You see any other big personalities, they will talk, on that red carpet, standing in there, sharing their life journey, sharing some inspiring talks and things. So I was like, okay, I will also go to this place one day.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I did this year. That was one of the milestone. So there I talked about the hidden power of the AI. I think I got that at the right time and talked about the AI, which is again a buzzing word right now. So yeah, that's about my journey.
Your journey is just like, I can't say, I don't have any word. It's just inspirational journey I ever heard about it. Okay. Like you are from like development background to DevOps background. A decade you worked upon these tools, and then you become a TEDx speaker. Really, you wrote three books and I can't imagine. This is really inspiration for me. Okay. So, the first question we have here is like, when you first encountered the idea of combining the DevOps with the AI, what were your thoughts? Like, you feel excited or you are nervous, you unsure, like, what happened, like, what you felt?
So, I was skeptical because I was thinking that will it really gonna make that change? Because a lot of people, they felt that I even also felt the same, that it's more of a hype. Because I will tell you, every few years technology comes with some change. It's like the same thing that every few years you get a news where it will say that in 2030 the world will get destroyed or it will finish, or there will be another year they will come up with. So likewise, every few year technology comes in and it brings a lot of change. It brings a lot of change. So likewise, when AI was there, right? When AI came in, I was also curious to understand, to learn about that. But I think it's a beautiful, you say it as a tool, you say it as a technology
Yeah.
or a learning or a game changer, but it is beautiful because, the beauty of AI is that it works more beautifully when you complement with human judgment or human intelligence.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
that's how I will sum up, the DevOps with AI there.
It's like a pattern. Like before that, we only know the software developers and DSA thing. Then there is a cloud at that time also. The Amazon cloud. I mean, AWS is there. Then Azure is also there. GCP is also there. But that time there is no much hype, or they are not. I mean, that much. You can say successful or whatever. But yeah, that time we only know the software developer era. Okay, like that. And now we have developers to DevOps things, and this is the something like, you can say, there is a era or there's a pattern. Software engineers were there, then we have this DevOps things, then this is the era of AI, and there are more things are coming. It's just like one of the pattern is just going on.
Yeah, I think that, with this, like, I'll just add a quick point here.
Hmm.
If you see, right, the technology has always evolved. Like, there was a time when the things were working at the DOS, at C++. So it's not that things are not working there, right? There are companies which are still using that.
Yeah.
But after that, the Java came in, right? There was Java, like it evolved to a like great extent, and even now today also, there are tons, thousands of Java developers we have, and like a lot of places, a lot of applications running in Java very smoothly. Now, after that, we have these automation, we have this scripting languages came in like Python, Golang, and things. So nothing has basically, if you see the pattern, nothing has actually changed, or it has like said that okay, it has taken away the jobs. Rather, it has helped you to grow more and
Grow more.
efficiently actually.
Yeah, you have to upskill yourself with the technology day by day. Okay,
Exactly.
this is the era of AI. Then some tool will obviously it will come next day. You have to learn those skills, like that. We have to adapt those technologies.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
if you want to define like the DevOps with AI in a short description, then what should it be?
Okay. So when we say, DevOps with AI is, I would say, it will First of all, it will basically help you to reduce the repetitive task.
Hmm.
In DevOps world, a lot of repetitive tasks, the automation comes in, right?
Yeah,
Now, DevOps with AI would be that smart ops. It will be that smart ops where the automation will have the intelligence. The automation will have the intelligence to learn, optimize, and predict the things.
yeah,
So that is DevOps with AI. It is that smart ops. It is that automation which has the intelligence to learn the things, to predict the things, and to optimize the stuff.
definitely. And you already talked about the automation. Then I have a question in mind. Like, we have had an automation in the DevSecOps, okay, in the DevOps also, like with the use of the Chef, Puppet, Terraform, Jenkins. So, what is AI doing in the CI/CD pipelines that traditional automation tools simply cannot do?
That's a nice question, I would say, because when you talk about these tools, right, the Terraform, you talked about Chef, Puppet, any of the IAC or a configuration management tools, these tools are basically following the instructions. They are deterministic. Whatever instruction you have written in the code, it will just execute that. It will execute that pattern, it will run that. But when it integrates with AI, it is learning that, right? It is
Yep.
learning the patterns, it is identifying the
Definitely.
patterns.
Yeah,
It is helping you to predict the failures. It is helping you to predict the deployment failures, to help you to say that okay, your code might fail and your build might has to be rolled back, right? You have to skip this test case because this test case has failed more frequently due to some obvious errors. So I
yeah,
think yes, that is how AI or in these tools will help us to identify or to learn itself and then to give you the best of the outcome from that.
definitely. So, I have one question. Like, you have already written 3 books, and you have a really good experience in the DevOps field. So, what are the pain points you felt while deploying the CI/CD pipelines?
Okay. So I think one of the important pain point is the flaky test. When you have a test cases which you don't run it in right way and things, so that your build gets failure a lot of times due to like the some cache issues, some dependencies,
Yeah.
long running builds, the not a good size of your Docker images, a big larger size of your Docker
Right,
images,
right, right.
right? Vulnerabilities, people don't scan the vulnerabilities in the right way. Okay, lack of identifying those vulnerabilities. And I would say the last and the important point is the cost and observability, right? So these are the two different areas, but having a right set of observability for your build pipelines, stating how much time it took, how much time it failed, what is the frequency deployment has failed, and understanding the cost it will imply before even deploying, all those are like definitely will be helpful. And like these are some of the pain points which we actually miss a lot of time.
Definitely. That is one of the things that we have to know. So, from that, like, I have a question. Like, we are using the AI in our CI/CD pipelines. So, what happen when our pipeline start making decisions for you? Okay, for example, we are using the AI in our pipeline. So, how it is really working? How it is really reducing our work as a DevOps engineer?
Yeah. So as I said, right, that first of all, it is helping us to reduce the repetitive task
Hmm.
because it is already learning on the patterns, right? So I will take couple of examples. The very first example is when you run a build, right, and if you integrate that with AI, now if there are certain test cases which have already failed, right, and again when you are running it, it will again fail.
Yeah.
When you integrate with AI will do what? It will basically learn that pattern from the historical data,
Yeah.
and it will say that it is skipping that test case. Again, you can put a human approval on that, that whether to skip or not, because it is failing due to this and this reason, which are pretty obvious. So we are skipping this test case so your build can execute faster. Not only that, it has also helped with observability, anomaly detections, right? That are,
Definitely.
you take a tools like Dynatrace, you take a tool like Datadog, Watchdog, right, which has the AI capabilities in it. They are giving you, the right set of insight. They are understanding the pattern of alert and giving you that proactive monitoring which your organization actually needs. So
Definitely.
these are the two areas I would say, that where AI is helping you a lot.
Okay, so the next question, for the DevOps engineers, like who are working as a fresher or mid level or seniors as also there. So, which fundamental skills they remain absolutely critical for every DevOps engineer?
When I talk about the fundamental skills, right, and for any level of engineer specifically, I would say two skills are very important. The first is Linux Unix, having an understanding of Linux Unix. Rather, I would say three skills, right? Linux Unix is very, very important. Troubleshooting, networking and troubleshooting or debugging is a key to success in DevOps, I would say.
Yeah,
And the last is the cloud. If you are not well versed with these three fundamentals, right? These three are fundamentals, they are root, they are basics of the DevOps, because everything has to be deployed on the cloud. Understanding and making your application secure, how the things are communicating with each other. So there comes the networking. Any kind of issues, any kind of customer issues, any other issue you land in, your troubleshooting and debugging skill should be smart enough. And
def-
Linux Unix is again the important, because all the servers, everything is running on those variants or those flavors actually.
so actually, this three thing I already covered. That means I'm on my track. Definitely. If
Funda-
we, yeah, definitely. If you want to become a DevOps engineer, that means you have to have the troubleshooting skills. Okay. If you don't like to debug something like Kubernetes pods are not running, crash loops, and lot of errors are there. If you don't like debugging, then DevOps job is not for you. Definitely, that I want to make sure all of the Yatri community.
yeah, and when we talk about the mid-level engineers, when we talk about that, how we grow with that, right?
Hmm.
The important part there to understand is that after you have cleared your okay, that okay, as you said, right, that you have done the fundamental. Now, if you are thinking what next, then it is your the modern cloud, all the modern infrastructure tools which we are seeing, this Jenkins, Kubernetes, Docker, Git, Argo CD. So these are your again the go-to tools there.
Definitely. Now, I'm just curious, like organizations are really implementing AI with their DevOps things. Okay. So I have a question like you see some organizations are really doing those stuffs in a right with a right foundation, or they are just bluffing, or they are just putting everything for their developers like implement this thing in the CI/CD like that. It's really working right now or not?
Okay. So I think that that's a very smart question, and I hope I'll not put myself on the spot where with anywhere or with any of the organizations, definitely. But yes, I think with my experience, which I would say that again, it's still a lot of organizations, they are doing best with the AI. They're implementing and I would say making use of the AI, right? In terms of creating the bots, in terms of creating their own agents, which has some sort of intelligence to do the things, right? You talk about any tools, you talk about GitHub Copilot, it is great tool you to assist with your code, assisting with your PR reviews, right? Claude, one of the best coding related tool, I would say, for our developers, like, the cursor, Canva, you say in the presentation, in those things, the Canva AI is actually helping you a lot.
Yeah,
So definitely there are a lot of tools, but I would say that, the fundamentally your data should also be that strong. It should be clean enough. It right telemetry, right metrics, right logs should be there, because your AI can learn from those things
from
within the
that
organization.
data. Yeah, right, right. AI needs data. Without data, there is no AI.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So right now in 2025, like where has the AI genuinely improved the DevOps? operations and the DevOps best practices? Like, where are you seeing the real ROI?
So I would say two parameters, two areas where the real ROI is coming actually. Which, with my experience, again, I would like to add that word, right? As I said, it's all like every person perspective can be different. The very first is the observability area. Observability is actually, going at a different level when you are integrating that with the AI, right? As I talked about Datadog, right? They have Datadog Watchdog, definitely New Relic, Dynatrace. They have a lot of different tools. Now that's giving you that anomaly detection feature. That's telling you that okay, this system can fail in next 1 hour. Based on understanding the pattern, it is giving you the alert that not the system is failing, but it will say that your system can fail in next 1 hour because I'm seeing a pattern which I have not seen in last 30 days.
That's insane, really.
That's insane. Exactly. Like you can't even imagine, right, that there is a tool which your human intelligence is not doing that thing, right? You can't wait up so that thing. That's the real proactive monitoring.
Even that one developer need that experience, okay, that he or she has faced this issue in couple of years, or like doing the deployment with the product, and then they can imagine like, okay, maybe this could be a pattern and maybe this will happen next month, but AI will predict it from the historical data. That's the insane thing.
Exactly. Now, the second important part here is with the support team, with the incident responders team and the other, like the support team, because you see, like tools like Atlassian and things, they have like Atlassian intelligence. And apart from that, having that integrated with AI, right, the support related work, the automated task which we have, it is already giving that 30 to 40% of task by doing itself and doing that debugging investigation for you, and it will write it a note, summarize note that this issues are being checked, this has been done, now you start your investigation. So I think these are the two areas when you talk about the observability, you talk about the support. So those are the two areas which is actually helping you a lot, or I would say giving you a real ROI for now. Definitely there would be a lot we will be seeing in the future actually.
Yeah, definitely. So I have one question. Like when I was a fresher, like in any company, wherever the JD I'm checking, like they need Kubernetes 4 years, 6 years plus experiences, Docker with this many years of experiences, Cloud with 11 years of experiences. That I have seen in JDs. Okay, but really, like the Kubernetes, it is not old enough. Okay, the tool is not even created at that time, and you need that much year of experience in that field. Like what the really thing they are doing, that I'm not understand. Like most of the freshers and the all DevOps folks, okay, they have these questions like why they need that much level of experience. What is the reason behind that?
Okay. See, DevOps is all about, a lot of different critical production usage. Okay. And when you talk about the experience, right? So experience is a big thing again, right? Because
Yeah.
as a fresher, it might take you to solve a particular issue in a day, 2 days, or sometime I would say half a day also based on the level of exposure you have. But an experienced person, right? He if he has faced that issue or if he has not, based on again the criticality of issue, definitely it would take half a less time than any other fresher or someone. Now coming to your question, that why that much of experience or those things are needed. So if you see, they will not say that for every tool you need 4 to 6 years of experience. They would talk about a certain set of tools or certain set of technologies where the experience is needed. And one of the reason is because those are the critical technologies, or those would be the critical component within their organizations, right? Where that where those intelligence, where those actually exposure is needed. So, yes, again, as a fresher, I even don't think that anyone expects that you should be pro with Kubernetes. But yes, your basics, your fundamentals of Kubernetes architecture, how the things work, that at least you should be good with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. That means these things will happen, but we have to upskill in certain areas, and those are the things that are really critical for those companies. That's why they are putting these things. That's absolutely right.
See, there are two things, one is very important thing to understand here is that those days are gone, where like you just read a Java SQL driver code, that JDBC 5 lines of code, you have rectified that. In the interview, you have told about, okay, what is the oops, what is abstraction, and what is that JDBC code, and you are shortlisted, right?
Yeah.
Now, even the hiring pattern or the interview pattern of the companies has changed, right? You can't be the executors. You have to be the designers now from day one. It's a AI era. You have to think how to design the systems, how to make it break.
That's true. I mean, this is what I mean. I also faced in my early stage of this. I mean, this IT field. We should have to face this all the things related to AI DevOps. Like you shouldn't do this like you can say the DBMS, the OOPS, and that's enough. No, no, no. Those skills are not enough. You have to do some like little bit about the DSA, basic to intermediate. They know the DBMS also, database management. You have some knowledge regarding the SQL queries also. You have to have some knowledge regarding the cloud too. That is what they are expecting like right now. Okay. This is their standard. Their standards like in the 2024 or 2023 is like here. And the 2025 it's like here. Again, because of this AI.
Right.
Okay. So for a like mid-level DevOps professionals, like 3 years or 5 years of experience they have, okay. Some of them are feeling like uncertain because of this AI impact on their role. So how should they plan their next 5 to 6 months to stay ahead of this curve? Like what you will recommend them to do?
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to mention that, AI is not replacing anyone's job. Okay. But if you don't upskill yourself, if you don't adapt to this technology, right, it will definitely keep you behind from your colleagues or from the other person. Now, when we talk about that, 5 to 6 months of a plan, as I already talked about the fundamentals. So that is very important, for initial 1 to 2 months you should take and understand those fundamentals. Then you should understand those modern infrastructure tools, for next couple of months, where like it comes about, you talk about Git, Jenkins, AWS in deep, Kubernetes, Docker, any other tool you would like to go ahead with. After that, with this AI world, it's important to also have an understanding of data. What exactly is data? How does data look like? What data is all about, right? How can you clean the data? What meaningful information you can extract from it? And you should also be aware about the prompts. You should know how you can write a good prompts, right? How you should be aware about the prompt engineering, because I feel the prompt automation and these things will also be coming up sooner, where the prompt engineering is important to understand the giving the right context to these AI tools or the models, and write a better prompt day by day so that you can get the most out of the AI tools.
Definitely. So I'm curious, like if there is some DevOps enthusiast, okay, they want to start their journey, or if someone already started like early career, okay, or someone is senior already who know the Python thing. So what you will suggest them? Like you go with the Python or you go with the Go language? Because we see some of the LinkedIn posts like Docker is running on the Go. Okay, I mean Docker implemented with the language because of this Go. Okay, Terraform with the Go, and this Kubernetes with the Go. Like that, I have seen so many posts on the LinkedIn. So really, like we need that much Go language, or Python is enough.
Okay. So here it comes, with the usability and with the requirement. Again, this is a, I would, I would say, to start with for a learning purpose, when you are starting from a automation perspective, Python is should be your go-to, because a lot of use cases, lot of things gets fit into the Python. But again, there are certain use cases, there are certain requirements where you have to implement Golang also. But when you are good with one programming language, when you are well versed with that as a basic and things, it will be easier for you to switch over or to adapt into the other, right? You can't learn all of today is Python, Go, tomorrow it can be any other, right? So what you have to do, you just have to switch by understanding the basics and the things. So having a clarity of one and starting from that, which is Python in this case, and then moving on to Go or other thing would be, I think, the right choice or the right.
Definitely. In the CI/CD pipeline, as a DevSecOps engineer, I know in the CI/CD pipeline we also add some of the functions like basics of any programming language. Basically, if we are using the automation scripting thing, then we are using the Python language. We are adding the if-else things. Okay, conditional statements are there. Then we'll add some of the functions. Also, we are adding like loops are there. So whatever the best thing for you to complete that complete stage of that pipeline, okay, which will run fast, so which can optimize that pipeline, okay, optimize the build process. That is the main goal that we have to do. And really, if we are using AI to do that, now it's just like a like matter of seconds, really.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing that I learned in my career, like with the use of AI, how you can automate all these steps and optimize your CI/CD pipeline with the use of the AI.
Right.
Okay, so for the educators and the content creators in the DevOps space, like your Udemy courses are also there. Should we incorporate the AI topics like to ensure the learners and not they just don't chase tools, but actually understanding the future workflow, like what they actually need to do? Okay, so what is the approach that you have taken?
Yeah. Actually, as an educator, or I would say as a content creator, now the things definitely are getting tough, right? And you have to change the approach, right? The approach change should be very simple, right? That you should set the right context now, or you should also, and we not, it's not about that making your audience learn the tool, the technologies, right? Or making like the learners about telling them about these things, right? It's more about setting the right context, setting how the design can impact or can create more better solutions, right? How you can break the systems, how AI can help in that, right? So all of those things you need to understand. Talking more about the data, right? So I would say that we should change some approach, we should change some methodology here to give into the more context based knowledge, right? Rather than directly just going and teaching the tool or uh, the technology, right? It should be more setting up the stuff that why, how the design is working, how it is helping in the use cases. Yeah.
Even the we are telling like DevOps is not a job role, it's like culture.
Yeah.
Okay, Sachin. So our last question is like, should DSA is really required, or if required, then we need to do the advanced level of DSA, or basic is okay?
So see, DSA is very important part. Again, it was one of the tough thing for everyone in the college life also, where
Yeah.
like we used to think, oh, really DSA is needed or not? Like, should we, like, how we'll just pass the DSA? I still remember it was like one of the tough questions for every one of us. But DSA is one of a critical part in the software development, because it helps you to write, or to tells you that, okay, how to write the code in a best form way, right? How functional based approach, modular based approach, what kind of the algorithms you should use, how optimize your code is, right? By understanding the complexities in these things. So yes, having a knowledge of DSA is very important. How much is that, what something we have to understand when we say how much? So the point here is very simple. As a DevOps engineer, you might not be using DSA that much, but in your automation and things, you should have for that you should have an understanding of the concepts,
Yeah.
right? To get make it optimized. But as if you are a software developer, right? If you are a full stack developer, your DSA knowledge should be you should be well versed with those concepts, because you're gonna utilize all those concepts, to a great extent on a everyday in your everyday development cycle.
In building the pipelines, I mean, in building their application, they need DSA. But so actually, we need the basic to intermediate DSA. Like whenever we have to do some automation scripting with the use of Python or Go language, you're in our CI/CD pipeline. So that's what you are saying, right?
Right.
Okay. So the last one is like anything from you to our Yatri Cloud audience that you want to suggest them.
So I think, again, I would like I'm not still the person, who can inspire, like, say, I would say, like, to the people, like, I would say that I will not, I'll say in a very simple thing, that you should first of all be very consistent. It's important to be consistent with your work, with whatever you are doing, because if you are not consistent enough, if you are not giving everything, giving every sweat of yours to that work, it definitely will not give you the result, because if you want to be successful, it takes a lot. Your You should be honest to what you are doing. Okay, with the consistency, you should be very honest to what you are doing, because you cannot bluff or manipulate yourself. You can do it to the entire world, but not to yourself, for any of the any of your failure or anything you wanted to do and you have not done. Right, you are the person who know very well in and out that what why it has not been done. Okay, and I think the third is nothing. It's just a continuous learning, right? That is something which every day it has to be evolved in any of the field you are. It's not only the IT field. It could be doctor field. It could be a literature. It could be the artist. Anyone, everyone has to go with that continuous learning. So I would say the same. Just keep on learning. Just be honest. Be curious. Excited to know the things, and that's all. That will your way ahead.
Amazing, amazing. I have no words to say. Like you're really an inspiration, really. It's just like a phenomenal talk with you right now. Okay. So as a Yatri Cloud, we really you can say honored to have you here in Yatri Talks. So that's it. Thank you so much, Sachin, for this podcast and guide our Yatri community. So that is for today's episode. If anyone from the Yatri Cloud want to connect with this Sachin, so I pinged his URL, LinkedIn profile. So you can feel free to reach out to him for his work or related to your queries. And please comment and tell me what things you have learned from this podcast. Okay, for your career. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the Yatri Cloud things. Okay. So I'm Nancy Ravalia, and this is Yatri Cloud Talks. See you soon in the next episode. Thank you so much.